And then seeing this little plant, and then making the connection between the two continents, and remembering and noticing how the plant is like really happy that I connect with it, and it has some information also for that place, and I was just working with that. And there was another really interesting moment. I was waiting for it, sort of. So I was walking with Janet, and we went for a swim. I did it a couple of times in the mountain stream, which was amazing. Wow. I ended up not showering in the showers. I just went to the stream. Janet standing guard that no one comes to disturb me. It was really beautiful. But so we were walking, and they always everywhere there are these very big fern plants growing. You know, the fern, we know, everyone knows what ferns are, but they are huge. Like, they are so big, and they're like, have this very ancient, this energy of like this ancient grandfather, like this very grounded masculine energy. And I looked at it, at those ferns, I was connecting with them. Well, at some point they were calling me. There was this one fern who was like growing into the road, and it was like, it said stop, and it was like hello. Where I couldn't ignore it because I was more focused on Janet and talking with her, and at some point it was like stop. And it was like it was calling me, and it's like, here you are. We've been waiting for you, thank you for being here. And it was just showing me all of these images. And I realized this plant, this fern, goes back millions of years. It already existed. It was already growing here in that area. Like, I don't know the number. It was just ancient. And it was just showing me like this long line of like Earth history, like happening until the present day. And here they are, still growing there. And the plant consciousness, collective consciousness, knew that I could see what it was showing me. So it was very happy that I was there. I was like, yes, memory, you're here to remind them. Talking about remembering our origins. So
what is this channel about?
Yeah. So that was really interesting to now know. So it was telling me, yes. So it was showing me that is part of why you are here in Duitama, Frida. You are in this place here in the mountains. Because you're making some connections here with this place and the people, some key people here. And is all to help them remember and reconnect with nature. In this place, that's what it was telling me. This place is important because we are here. Is what the fern was saying. We are. It is very proud. It's very proud plant.
Wow. Maybe that's why also the people who decide to create this community there were also feeling this call from some ancient times to be there. I mean, that is not a coincidence why they are there.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And yeah, there's so much to discover there in those mountains that you look at them, you know there are secrets there that is not discovered yet. Anyways, so because through this fern and that community, there's this direct line between the modern world right back almost to the origins of creation through these ferns. And that is needed apparently for this time, and that community is going to shift, so things are going to change in the future. So these are things I was discovering as I was staying there, like realizing, watching the timelines, right? And that community is going to change, they are going to start doing things in a different way. And it's going to be really important in the future. Also, it already is important, but it will be even more. Also because of the nature there. Because when you go there, you're like moving outside of modern time. And nature works with you there. And these ferns also, and they bring memory. So it's going to be a really powerful place. It already is, but the structure of the community is also going to change. And that is where that woman, that Danish woman, comes in.
Oh, wow.
Because she is also a very powerful being. That is another encounter. I don't even know how to start telling about her, but that was incredible. Like we when we connected, there was like this like this spark that was created, and this we were inside of our own space almost, and suddenly it's like this inside of this space that was really illuminated, and like suddenly we don't need to use many words, and we were just exchanging, like talking to each other. Like we were just remembering together. Oh yeah, and then she would tell me a story about like experiences she had, out of body experiences she had when she was younger in Denmark. And I would know what she was talking about. I would be like, yeah, I know exactly, and then I would be able to give her information on that. Look, you were, from what my perception helps me there to understand patterns. So I would just tell her, yeah, that and that and that was happening. She was like, oh yeah, that connects to all of those other experiences in my life. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, oh, everything makes sense. And we were just coming to this deeper understanding of who we are, and that everything is really has always been so simple, and there's no mystery, and we all have this light inside of us, and that's has always been enough, and we don't have to explain ourselves and to the people anymore, and everything was just so clear that just through existing we spread light, and then something else happened, which I want to tell you about, which was
What is that?
So this what I was saying about, I was the practical start of that, what the fern was telling me about the place also, that place is is important for the people to remember. And, he was also telling me that I wasn't that important to that place. I was that the woman I was meeting there was much more important than me.
So, the trees were telling you.
Yes. It was like, it was sort of a relief also. It was really funny. He was like, yeah, you're just here to make the connection, but once you're done, you can go. He was like, you can go.
So basically you did the thing that you have to do.
Yeah, exactly. And then it happened. Then it happened as I was connecting with Huvres is her name. More and more, or that connection that will be very much needed, this remembering that will be very much needed in the future in that community, to pass on this remembering of connecting with nature also, and the ancient memory of the earth. That happened. Like, as we were interacting, it started growing, and she started becoming more and more like she was. How it happened was she was showing me, so she had a little house in the place, and she has this garden and all of these plants that are basically like her children, right? And she was connecting with them and telling me all of these things, how she experiences these plants, but in a very shy way. She almost like she's scared to talk about it. Like, yeah, the plants actually talk. Like, she talks with them, and they give her information, and they heal, and she is able to bring healing with them as well, and things like that. And I was just listening to her and confirming, and just, yeah. Now I'm losing my thread. Well, we had this very special moment where she was showing me all of the plants, and I was just showing her, there's nothing strange about it. This is very important. Also for people who live in cities, this to remember that, like that plant over there.
You have a beautiful plant, yes, here.
We have a beautiful blonde there. Connecting with them helps us connect to the remembering, helps us connect to all the information we need to heal and to heal our communities and to remember and to heal our bodies, etc., etc. Wow. So, like, she was really, like, by the end of it, she was so encouraged and really in this full awareness of, oh, I wasn't crazy. Connecting with the nature like this is actually really important, and the nature responds to me, and the plants respond to me, and I have influence on it. And so she was remembering or feeling all of this, and then you could see how nature, like earth memory, was coming back to her. And so that is just the effect of yeah.
Yeah, I think that's another very good example how...
And she was telling about how many people in the community, they were not very impressed with her connecting with her plants like that. And they were always admiring her garden, but never like really listening to her. And that's why she was so shy about it. And I told her, no, this is it. This is it. We need exactly that. And like the time but we were there, her whole demeanor changed. Like she was like coming out of a shell that she had been in, hiding in, and she was starting to be brave about, like, honest, but like yeah, ready to share and to not hide it anymore.
Yeah, I was about to say that like listen to you through these stories and all these experiences with Janet, and in general, this is another part of your mission, to meet these people, to meet these key people who are also trying to wake up, or they are trying to follow some signs, or trying to follow some calls, and they also sometimes they feel alone, or they need to find a coherence in what they are doing. And after you meet them, you like help each other, reinforce each other, or you give them the information that maybe they are looking for or complement. So in this trip was very important, that part, to meet them and work directly with them and create this connection that after you left the place, but you still connected with them and with this woman. So one of the things that you have been doing, like since you arrived and before arriving to Abya is to meet these people. Yeah. Yeah. So in this trip was a very clear example how you work, like meeting them and what you really do when you meet them.
Yeah, and this is true. Is magical. It's absolutely magical. Like not just the places that I see here that I remember then from, oh, I've seen this in visions years ago already, but also people, and people recognizing me. They're like, oh, I think it was you I was seeing in this dream the other day, or a year or 2 years ago. And it was with this woman also. We were connecting so strongly. We were walking there, and she's already like in her 60s, 66. But it's like meeting soul family, and it's like you're just meeting again. You're just meeting again. So it was like this all the time. Also that we meet, we walk, we do our things, and then we happen to meet somewhere on the compound, in the grounds. And we're like, oh, I was just thinking about you, so here we meet. Okay, yeah. And always in exactly the right moment. And so many, I forget the stories. We had quite a few stories like that also. We were talking about transformation. I forget most of the stories, but we were talking about transformation. What? I don't remember. Anyways, when I went to say goodbye to her, I went to her house, and she's like, oh yeah, I was just thinking about you, and you would come here. And she's like, an angel is visiting my house. And I had my bag, before I left, I was thinking about that transformation that we had been working on with her. And I had this butterfly on my back, and I was watching this butterfly. And I had quite a far distance to walk to her house. And so I took the bag and I walked to her house to say goodbye. And she opened the door and I was like, the butterfly was on the bag, and I said, I've got something for you here. And in that moment, the butterfly flew into her garden, like around her. It's like, it's for you. Like it knew. And she's like, oh yeah, the birds listen to me like that also. And I was like, yeah, they do. We were just giving each other this confirmation the whole time, again and again, things like that happening. And also, I remember, so we were having this conversation, and she was just telling me lots of things. Also bringing in the doctrine that she, of course, being part of the Taoist community, she's very much into the doctrine as well. So
yeah.
And I was able to make a lot of connections for her, like just listening to her and showing her the patterns, how everything is connected to herself personally, a personal story that a lot of that information that she thinks she was given, she already had from when she was little. And she was telling me about her childhood, and she was like, oh yes, you're right. I always knew that already. And that was just it was incredible. So I was just listening to her, and then the next morning she said, last night I woke up during the night, and firstly she told me, I was thinking of you last night, and I was like saying your name, Frida, and then you appeared right in front of me. And is that what you do with people? And I was like, yeah, that is how people appear to me too. So I was not surprised, and that for her was just the confirmation. Oh yeah, so that's how easy it is to connect with one another, and then she was telling me she was waking up in the night, and suddenly her childhood self was there, and she was feeling herself to be like the 7-year-old girl again.
Wow.
And she said, and then this weird thing happened where I'm here, I'm 66, and completely different life, and this is me, but I'm also my 7-year-old self, and suddenly for the first time in my life, the two of them connected, like I was both at the same time, and it's like something healed within me. And was that because of our conversation? Did you do something? She was asking me. And then I said, that is how easy it is to heal. That is exactly the information I'm here to help us remember. That through this connecting with one another like this, because I told her I was just listening to you last night, and I was seeing images of you as a child while you were talking. And that's all I was doing. I was just watching the images. And then that happened, and she was like, oh, so that is how healing happens. Okay. So I was like, yeah.
Wow. So, very incredible experience.
I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I wanted to pass on that story because it will tie in what I want to help us remember about how easy it is to heal and to integrate, and just through connection and through nature.
Yeah. And yeah, by the way, if someone else is interested in these kind of stories, or going into more details, or do you feel identified, or do you have some resonance with that, or that they have similar stories, or want to be curious about how is this in detail, maybe you can ask, and maybe is bring more stories like that, because I know that it's not the only one, right? Yeah. It's could be be more detail.
Yeah.
More details about that, or different stories, or maybe you have some stories that will be easy interpreted by Frida, and to give that direction, to give that understanding why happened these kind of things for people, because nowadays people have these, and they have kind of what is the word for that they have a weird explanation, or maybe a religion explanation, or something that because they feel that maybe it's because of that, but there is something more natural behind that, or they are wake happening somehow. So will make sense all of these stories that you're telling. So actually, if we start to remember, we're gonna find some parts in our lives that give this little magic situations that are maybe connected with things like you are expressing.
Everything. This is part of my passion, what I want to convey to the people. Every part of your story makes sense. Like, there is nothing that just happened, and it's all connected, and there is a very simple logic underlying the whole of your life. And if you can look at it and see it, the pattern, oh, this is who I am, and everything that shows up in my life right now has always been there. And you see that logic, and it brings this coherence into your field, and where you're able to feel yourself again and step into your power, really. Yeah, really realize who you are, and just release a lot of things, burdens that maybe you carry, yeah, and bring more joy and see your purpose also, which is incredible. Everyone has this amazing purpose that they live, that they don't even realize they're living. So when you see those patterns, it can help to realize that you are already living your purpose. You are shining your light.
Yeah. So yeah, that is part
so
of.
So I do one-on-one sessions also. If people want to connect with this, yeah, we can talk. Yeah. Or if you want to share your story, and if you want to, we can interview you as well. So I want to invite people. I want to hear many more stories. Like I heard this lady's story. I want to hear many more.
That is why we are making this sharing, right? To invite people also to join this kind of conversations, and to complete these parts of the life that we feel that are a little bit strange, but now is how we make sense of them. So yeah, we want to open that invitation, and we really want to make this bigger and to have more people. And maybe you have a lot of stories that also have to be listened. So yeah, welcome everyone.
Sometimes that's all we need, is for someone to listen to our story, or some people to listen to our story, and then everything falls into place. Everything can start resolving.
Yeah, well, very important. Today's sharing. I thought
Duitama.
Duitama were very short trip that you made, but very big work you did there. So it was short time, but very intense. So that's why maybe today was a little bit long, but it is because it was important all what you had to tell us. So that is, I don't know, how do anything else?
I'm just remembering I had this dream about Tundama, the hero, as well, before I went to the place. Seeing it was very interesting because it looked very cartoonish, but this vision of the battle, that where he was leading his people into battle against the Spanish, like it was, I don't know, yeah, it was it was really interesting. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this was the chapter about Duitama and the story behind that. Next? For sure, we can back to Curitiba and to Tota to spend the last week, I guess, or so in Tota, and yeah, we have something to tell before leaving Tota. So
Atlantis and Bochica and Curitiba and extraterrestrials and modern technology and Tota. Many more interesting things to come. Yeah.
So will be the end of this trip, but the beginning of all this experience that is going to take, to take us to farther places, or even going back to those places, many places to visit in Boyaca. But while the next chapter, we're gonna recap all of that and share these last days in Tota. Yeah. So thank you very much, and see you next time.
Bye.